Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, dude. First of all, you're back in the city. You're back on stage at Fifth Avenue. When was the last time that you were on at Fifth Avenue?
When I was 19, I was a freshman in college and I got cast in Oklahoma as ensemble member 1,000. And so it's definitely full circle to now be back on the stage as a lead role, touring the States, doing like a very important show, I think, for our time right now. So it's just so cool.
And you know what's so great about this show is that it's very political, right? And believe it or not, we have voting ballots due here in Seattle today at 8 p.m. So
It's perfect.
it's perfect
Vote.
timing.
Vote.
Tell me a little bit about the show. Like I saw that what's the name of the song? It's called Mama.
Mama Look Sharp.
Yeah, apparently like that's one of your favorites. So tell us
It
about some of
is.
your favorite moments in the show and what we can look forward to.
So, what's really just the coolest thing about this version is that it is the exact same script as the original version back in the 60s, which was an all white male cast. And it's the exact same text, but it's done now by female, trans, non binary, women of color, people of all different ethnicities. The goal was people that would not have had rights at that time are now saying these words. And my favorite thing about this show is that I love when the audience hears the exact same text, but it hits so different when it's a Latin white passing me person saying these words to a Black woman's face. It hits different than two white guys saying it to each other. Mm-hmm. And so that's my favorite thing is just how the perspective is shifted. And Mama Looks Sharp, because you see Brooke. I'm telling you. I mean, Brooke was on The Voice. Do yourself a favor and YouTube Brooke Simpson. She's the best live vocalist I've ever heard in my whole life. She sings Mama Looks Sharp.
No, like Voice is beautiful. I was checking it out earlier. I mean, obviously it doesn't start till tomorrow and we'll let you guys know how you guys can get tickets in a little bit, but The Voice is voicing.
She's incredible. All of the voices are incredible. And then, of course, my song is it's the 11 o'clock number, right? So it's like at the very end of the show. It's very overwhelming and impactful. I play the villain, so you can imagine how that could create itself. Come and watch it. It's very well choreographed.
Let me ask you this. What was it like getting into the character of the villain? Because you seem so nice. I mean, everybody has like different facets of themselves, but to sometimes tap into that villain portion of yourself, like how was that getting into character for you?
So I always say villains don't think they're a villain, right? They see themselves, they can justify all of their actions for whatever, any way, may it be religion, political views, they can justify all of their actions and they get people to follow them. So others also don't view them as a villain. So I came into this as, how can I put myself in this human being's shoes, whether I agree with them or not, and get others to believe me and follow me like a true villain would. And that is how I based my character, is not on being a villain. I think the text just lends itself. And I don't want people to automatically think, oh, that's the villain. I want them to be like, oh, I'm so uncomfortable because I didn't expect that. And right? I want that dilemma. I want them to fight against that.
And that's honestly, like you said, now that I think about it, the true villain is you typically don't know until they really villainize you in a moment. You're like, I didn't even see that coming. They're like, that's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Now, real quick, again, this is like a huge history lesson. And we were just talking about how the great thing about shows like this is that you're able to kind of go back in time. But then there also end up being moments where you can currently still relate to them. And it's like, this is still a thing. Are there like any like standout moments where you're like, yeah, this apps, I'm so happy that this is in here because this is a moment that people will really connect to?
So a lot of people, I didn't even know this when I auditioned, the signing of the Declaration hinged on the slavery clause. The South did not want to get rid of that. And the other half said, no, we've got to abolish it, get rid of it. And they could not get it to pass without them just saying, fine, we'll leave slavery in. Most of us didn't know that. I don't remember learning that. And I think what has been the most heartbreaking and beautiful thing is when we have children come, like schools, and we did talkbacks. and they ask questions, and they now get to learn something about history that is trying to be pushed out, and then I don't even really remember learning. And I'll just never forget, this beautiful little black girl raised her hand and said, why didn't they want to get rid of slaves? And we all just said, I don't know. It makes me want to cry every time, because I'm like, I can't, even though I play these roles every day, I know what justifications they used at the time, but my brain still cannot wrap itself around how that was enough justification.
Yeah. Like how it made sense. Like you couldn't make it make sense. So
it was all about money.
Oh, absolutely.
Today, this world, I mean, we live in a capitalist, hello, like they just wanted to protect their money.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's why plays and musicals like this are so important, because the little girls are able to see in a different way that maybe they might not have paid attention to in school, but they're being entertained and now they're retaining that information. Yep. Or someone like me, I'm not even gonna hold you, I didn't really pay that much attention in school when it came to history. So watching things like this, I'm like, wait, that happened? Like what? Like this was allowed? So, you know, oh my goodness, I cannot wait. Unfortunately, you guys, it's only here in Seattle at the 5th Avenue from the 2nd to the 6th. So you have a little bit of time to go check it out, just a little bit. But make sure that if you don't have your tickets yet, you want to grab those over at 5thavenue.org. But real quick, Cass, before I let you go, yes. I know you went to school out here. Is there anywhere around the city between, Seattle to Tacoma, food-wise, that you plan on trying before you leave town?
That's such a good question. It was so long ago. I don't remember literally any food here. So please tell me, I don't remember anything. I was a little baby, just so scared every day. And it was in the winter. So I didn't go out anywhere when I was here.
Goodness. Okay. What kind of food are you looking for real quick?
Healthy. But like fun, healthy.
Fun, healthy. Okay. I'm going to think of a couple things and get you some fun, healthy stuff. One thing I can definitely think of is Plum Bistro up in Capitol Hill. It's vegan and it is amazing. Like I love meats and I didn't even know if there wasn't meat in my chili. Okay. So definitely pull up there.
We love it.
With that being said, I want to thank you so much, Cass, for chatting with me. Definitely make sure that you guys go see 1776 over at 5th Avenue Theater.